Pokemon, you can actually just find this with its... Hey y'all, it's Jason from GameRave.com, otherwise known as Danger Boy. This is GameRaveTV. Happy 400 subscribers, happy 30th episode. Let's get to it. As we continue the journey for the 27 lettered games you have to play, this episode was picked by our readers and viewers, and that is the letter Y. Now, Y is peculiar because when I was thinking about doing this project in picking the games with only one from each letter, it didn't occur to me that there'd be a small problem. And that is, some letters only have two choices. With Y, it basically comes down to the You Don't Know Jack series or the Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories game. Now, with it just being two games, there is a very peculiar oddity that pops up in the fact that the two games could not be more opposites of each other. One is a trivia game, one is a card collecting game, one has a bald mascot, one has a mascot who's used up so much moose that the grocery store ran out. One keeps track of the questions you've asked, one keeps track of all the cards you've used and collected in real life, one had a sequel, one had a collector's edition, and so forth. Probably the only real similarity they have is that one has long drawn out questions and one has long drawn out battles. Alright, of the two, we're going to start with Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. Now, as I mentioned, it actually does have a collector's edition available. Ooh, shiny. And what makes the collector's edition is, besides the foil case, is that it actually came with 3 included trading cards that were for the game at the time. Now, if you want to understand supply and demand, when this game first came out, this copy was going for about $300 because this was the only place to find the cards. Nowadays, thanks to the rise and fall of collectible card games outside of Pokemon and Magic the Gathering, you could probably find this game, this variant, loose without the cards for about $5, and then pick up the 3 cards individually for a total of like 30-40 bucks. That aside, with Yu-Gi-Oh! It is a card collecting game. It's literally the card game, just in video game form. And as I mentioned in the Monster Rancher battle card episode, between the two of them, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just almost impossible to get into. There is no learning phase, there is no training. You literally have to know how to play the card game before you go into this. And without having played the card game ever before, I figured I'd try and just have at it and play this right off the bat. After one game, I was doing the same thing for the entire session. With Monster Rancher, you had 3 enemies, and then you had cards based on the enemies. With Yu-Gi-Oh!, from what I could tell, it was basically just lay some cards down, attack their cards, and try and knock out the rest of their cards. The problem being is that in the game I played, like the opponent would only lay down 1 card, and I could easily kill it with whatever I had. 2, I could attack nothing. Like if I had killed his 1 card, it wouldn't automatically just, you know, change the turns. I could just sit there and keep attacking nothing for absolutely no reason whatsoever. I literally didn't even bother finishing that round because it was literally just him laying down a single card, me beating it, hitting next turn, repeat, and after 12 of these turns, I was like, no, I'm done. To this video, I literally could not tell you what I did in that game. I drew some cards, I picked some sort of alignment that changed per card, but it didn't really show it on the screen anywhere what the alignment was. I didn't know why you could turn the cards, etc. Just not really intuitive, and it really doesn't have the chance to become a game you have to play, especially if you've never ever played the card game, which obviously means that we default to You Don't Know Jack as the game to choose. Now, the problem with You Don't Know Jack is there's two versions, the original and the sequel. And having played both of them for this video, I can actually say that the first game is the one to pick for multiple reasons. Before a question is asked, you get to pick from a different category, and the categories are just all crazy named, etc. In You Don't Know Jack 2, they basically pick a category in the beginning without you even being prompted for one, and then all the questions relate to that category. Now, that's a disaster waiting to happen, because if you happen to pick, if the category happens to get picked that you know nothing about, or that your other friends don't know anything about, it becomes a really stupid game, because none of you are interested in what the game has to say. That's what makes the first one all the more better, just because if you're having trouble with, you know, some random category, it changes right away and you can all have fun. What else I liked about this too is that the presentation, while better in the second one, the first one's audio files are recorded at a much higher, cleaner rate, so it wasn't as hard to hear, or like you didn't have to turn up the volume to play the game better. That said, obviously, You Don't Know Jack Volume 1 is our game you have to play for letter Y. The game is very easy to get into. You can be 1 to 3 players, and what's really nice is that if you have a memory card with a block clear, You Don't Know Jack will actually save your question data. So if you play the game, say 2 or 3 times, it will automatically save that data to the memory card, so the next time you play, those questions will come up again. The game actually boasts enough questions to claim that there's 35 hours of gameplay before the questions would reset themselves, which is really good. I think, imagine playing Mass Effect as a trivia game. That's how many questions you could answer. That's a lot for 35 hours. Now, with You Don't Know Jack, you can actually get this game for pennies on the dollar. It only averages about $2 to $5, give or take, on eBay. Now, it also is available on damn near any other thing you can think of. PlayStation 3, the computer, obviously. And with the computer, you do have a lot of expansion packs you can buy, different categories and so forth. The problem with the PC version is I'm not really sure how 3 people would play with a mouse and keyboard and so forth. With the PlayStation, you can at least have the multi-tap in 3 controllers, or I believe you can actually have 2 people share a controller too, so like one would be the D-pad, one would be the X buttons and so forth. But, you know, for what we had to work with, You Don't Know Jack definitely takes the Y letter. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Do not know what the next letter will be. Kind of have to figure out what box I can dig into. That being said, I'll see you at the site. Take care, you guys. Have a good one.